All right, welcome to Empower You podcast, where we believe in empowering minds to live empowered lives. Today, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Jackson. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great. I pray you guys are well, and thanks for having me.
Yes, well, tell us about you and what it is that you do. What makes it to where you are able to empower lives each and every day?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, really quick, um, I'm the founder of the Love No Ego Foundation. Love No Ego, as you see the logo here, Love No Ego. And pretty much in a nutshell, we help youth and young adults ages 10 to 24 just live more from this space, that love space, being human, showing up as their best selves, while being aware of the egotistical influences and the pressures and all of those things that brings that fear, brings that separation and whatnot. So we do that, but also speak in the corporate world about ego in the workplace, helping individuals and teams show up as their best selves and gain optimal performance. And that's pretty much it. It's that whole message of love, no ego. And to really get back to the nonprofit side, we have a mentoring program where we service about 15 kids per week. They usually stay with us 2, 3 years. And yeah, we just kind of help them, give them that one-on-one in-depth collaboration, help them be their best self.
Oh man, I love that. I do a lot of work inside of schools as well with students. And that's where it starts, our foundation, to get them ready and knowing that they can operate from a place of love. And like I tell students all the time, you don't know what people's home lives are like. And so while we're here, let's just love on each other and give our best.
I know, right? I mean, it's not, like you're saying, it is so simple. I don't understand. I get it. People get hurt, things happen, and sometimes we pass that down. But I mean, isn't it obvious, like, what we need to do? Like, don't we need to love each other, support each other so we can maximize this human experience? You know?
I wish it was like that, but then also you find like when we look on social media, when people are talking to each other, I'm like, why are people just so ugly to each other? And I think it's because
Yeah,
you have that filter and you're not face to face and different things of that nature. And I think that is what it comes down to. And our children are watching everything we do. And so if you see, in the grocery store, your parents just, talk to people crazy. I see it every
yeah,
day from the parent to the
yeah,
teacher. And I think it's because they have no clue or idea what that teacher endures day in and day out and
yeah,
maximizing that child times 25 or however many students are in the classroom. And I think it just comes down to people caring about their needs and only their needs, being selfish.
right, right. That's the ego. And, we define the ego as overly self-centeredness and also like the fear part because, there's only two places you can occupy. That's love space or the fear space,
Right.
Like, so which space do you occupy the most? So we try to just kind of bring that awareness to everybody and everyone that we encounter, especially the youth. That's our mission. But even in the corporate world, like how you showing up as your best self.
Yeah.
Um, are you bringing yesterday into the now, to today? Are
Because
you so
yesterday is
worried about?
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's a wrap. It's done. It's 1,000 miles away. It's gone. And tomorrow's not here yet.
That's right.
So, and even when it gets here, it's still what? Still now. It's still today. So, what are you doing in this moment as a human being to maximize this thing? Get the most out of this. As far as we know, we only got one of them. So, like, what are you doing? You know?
Yes, I love that. So how do you get people to focus on the present? Because, it's hard. It's hard because
Yeah,
people hold
you see
on.
where I am. You see where I am now, right?
Yeah.
Like I stay in nature a lot, a lot. Like I stay in nature a lot, and nature helps to hone in on the present moment. It helps to. It's like therapy. Nature is therapy, and all therapy is a release from the past. Like
Right.
think about it. It's a release from I don't care when that past was. It could be yesterday. It could be 10 years ago. Therapy is a release from the past, and when you release, you're in this present moment. So we go out in nature. We go hammocking. Every kid gets a hammock. Even adults, like we take the adults out. We do kayaking. We do walking on trails. We do
Yeah.
projects together outside. Like we'll pick up trash. We have adopted roadways. We have adopted trails. It starts there. It starts by getting outside, getting into a space where love can just do what it naturally does.
Mm,
Like, you have to create the space for it. It's been given to us. It's here. It's already here, but we search for it out there in the egotistical world, and it always falls short.
that's right.
And we don't realize that we already have everything that we need to be
It's
happy.
already inside of us.
Yeah, it is, but we go searching everywhere else, and of
And
course
that's
we
why
don't
you're
find
never fulfilled. That's right.
it. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So helping them look inward, you know, and nature helps to do that. And then we have some pillars, principles that we stack on top of that to help that foundation for success. We call it being in nature. That foundation for success, and this nature piece is all about like understanding, helping them to understand what's natural versus unnatural, what's truth versus illusions, what's reality versus what we made up, what's love versus ego slash
yeah.
fear. And once you establish that foundation, now you put some pillars on it. Our pillars are spirituality, education, exercise, community. Spirituality, education, exercise, community. And we touch on one, multiple, if not all of those pillars through different exercises and in the community, right? Spirituality just being human. We're spirited beings by nature. Like teach them how to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Religion is cool. It's the practice. It's the tool. That's the tool that you got. If you have one, great, awesome. It's good. It's just serving you, awesome. But spirited and spirituality, like we're that by default, and we need to pay more attention. Yeah. So
Yeah, and I think that
always say
helps
that.
people to tap into the power of discernment, but you have to be in tune with yourself and
Yeah.
knowing how you operate. And you can't do that unless you quiet the noise and
Right.
really just sit with yourself. But now
Yeah.
everybody's going, going, going. People text you, they expect the immediate answer. And that's just not good. It's not conducive to our
Right.
longevity of life.
You're so right. I've been living this way for a while, and what I mean by this way is like another thing too that helps to empower you and empower these people, whoever's listening. Like you have to really look at, like, I started removing things that wasn't serving me, like I
Mhm.
started getting rid of like physical stuff, some people, and it wasn't a lot of effort that I had to put into this. It's just I quieted myself, like I got to my peace, and I just started seeing it. Love started showing me like what purpose was and what was unpurposeful, and what was serving me, what wasn't, was serving me, wasn't serving me. So like, we don't have a TV. Like I haven't watched TV in years,
Yes.
like years, probably like almost 10. I have a lot of plants in my home. I spend a lot of time outdoors. I read a lot. I have a great group of friends, great partners. It's
Yeah.
all purpose, and it's no extra energy at all.
Yes. And I love that piece. Like you say, you started being quiet, moving yourself, moving certain people out of your life. And I think that's the piece that a lot of people feel like, what do I tell them? Or what do I say mentally? And that's what causes that anxiety because you're like, I feel like I need to have a conversation. But in reality, sometimes it's just literally cutting people off and moving on when you see that that purpose is no longer being served or you guys have outgrown each other.
I had this conversation with somebody just last night, and we were talking about, I always say I can show you better than I can see. you know, like I let my behavior is gonna say it, and it's not an egotistical thing. It's just coming from my love space, and I'm just
Yeah.
relaxed and chill about it. And whoever those people are, they should, they will, I think, have the courage to ask you, like, "Are you okay? What's wrong? I feel distant," and then you explain it to them.
Right. And sometimes they won't even ask.
Right.
Because they're so
And
in
if
their
they,
own world. They don't care.
yeah, and if,
You served your
yeah,
purpose for them, you know?
right. And if they really care about it, then they're probably going to make an effort to stick around.
Right. That's so true. And just like you just said, operating from a place of love, I think that's something that is missing for so many people when you think about, okay, the words that people are saying and the actions. So I know
Mm,
in mental health, as I see a lot of clients, I have more women. But
mm,
I notice when it comes to that relationship piece and trying to sort things out, and it's like, okay, he's saying this, but the actions are not in alignment. And one thing I'm really big on is paying attention to people's actions because their actions will show you every time. And it's the
yeah.
same thing, like what you're doing, helping people to see, like, are you going to allow people to show you who they are and pay attention and then make the move that you need to move from there? Or are you gonna still just keep being available and then now
Hmm.
you're stuck, you're upset, your life just ain't flowing right? When sometimes you just have to move yourself and just
Yeah.
live life. Like I love your background right now. That's peace, tranquility, like
Mm-hmm. And it's real. Like, this is not a screen, it's not a backdrop. This is, I'm in the yard, I'm outdoors, and
Yeah.
we have some deer like that's laying back there. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that reminds me, I was reading this book. It was actually an audiobook. And one thing, like I was talking about, is changing your mindset. And one thing he had to do was change his environment. He had to literally get up, go spend an hour at the beach every single morning. I want to say it was called the conscious mind. But he said before that, he was in a rut. He was going to work, he wasn't getting paid much. He was trying to figure out how he was going to make ends meet for his family until he had to realize I got to change my environment so I can thrive. And so
Right.
going there, he had his power bag. He was making sure that he was reading his books, doing everything he needed to get that knowledge. And so, what is it for you, or what was that transition like for yourself when you realized, like, okay, this is where I thrive? Or how did you know, like, I needed to nature? That's me. Like, that's where I'm good.
I'm from a little small town called Buckingham, Virginia, and it's very rural area. Rivers. We ran, played, jumped in the water, all that stuff. We had to build our own basketball courts. And, back in the day, like we'd make up games. Kids don't do that no more. We just go outside and just be outside and make up something. You know. So I think my connection was there, and then as I got older, I got into watching the sunrise. So I've been watching the sunrise every day for years. I don't care if I'm on the road or wherever I am. I watch the sunrise every day. I get up, I read, I do about 5, 6 exercises, physical exercises, meditation, I pray, just practice some gratitude, and just really just say what
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
grateful
big one.
for. Yes, it just really ignites the space within. And then I get out and I watch the sunrise. Um, that really put a lot of things, that puts it in perspective when I watch the sunrise. Like, because without it, we'd be dead, you
Right.
know? Like, without nature, we wouldn't be here. Like you're there, I'm here, we're still breathing the same, you know? And I'm a personal trainer, I'm a physical guy, like physical fitness guy, wellness guy. I eat pretty well, all natural. Um, I just, I just purposely see the alignment all the way across the board. And once you empower you and you discover or rediscover like this you that you have within this intuition, this space, because all of us have this knowing right here, like we know. And we just have to have the courage to follow that knowing. That's where your gifts are, right?
Yeah.
So, nature really watching the sunrise and just reading. Like I love reading. Like I love reading, getting knowledge and getting what I feel is truthful information, about personal development. And, if you break it down, like, life is very simple, but we make it complex. Life is so simple. It's so simple, but we make it so hard, and
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
That
Yeah.
is so true, and that just reminds me of setting boundaries, setting those clear boundaries that you need so you can create the life you desire to have, and just visualizing that you can have that. So listening to you about the sunrise and the sunset, that reminds us that we have the same opportunity that everyone else has to do something
Mhm.
great. Every day is a new day because somebody didn't wake up. Someone might have woke up and they still didn't see the sun go down.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's like it's really a brand new day, like a day nobody has ever seen before. No day is the same. It's a brand new day. And I tell folks, like, if you look at the word human being, just the second part, I'm gonna just look at the second part, BEING. Like that's present tense. ING, that's a suffix that we learned back in grade school. What does it mean? It means action, talking, walking, doing, being. When is that action taking place? Right now, it's present moment. So if there's one thing that we should know how to do as human beings is be.
Yes, yes. So tell us, what is it like for a client to work with you, or what is the first step, or how can our audience contact you?
Yeah, so they can reach out to Mr. Love No Ego, SMRLOVENOEGO.org, and you can see a lot of services there. If they're interested in the nonprofit realm and getting some youth services, they can go to lovenoego.org.
All
Yeah.
right. Can you say that one more time so that way our listeners can make sure they know exactly where to go?
So they can go to Love No Ego, LOVENOEGO.org, and that's the 501c3 nonprofit. Or they can go to Mr. Love No Ego, that's MRLOVNOEGO,
Love it.
dot org. Yeah, and some kids
Yeah.
gave me that name, and they gave me that name for rolling into school, so I roll with it. Also, the websites are kind of intertwined, so if you go to one, you'll be able to see the link and go to the other. If you see the nonprofit, you'll be able to go to meet the founder.
I love that because with business, we got to make it simple, right?
Yeah, like it's simple. Don't make it hard.
Been there, done that. I'm like, go to this one. No, no, too much, too much,
Yeah,
too much.
I
Okay.
know.
Right. But when you have a passion to give, it's like you're always giving, 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 or you come up with these ideas and you're like, let me full speed ahead. And then you're like, wait a minute, slow down.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
So I love it. I love your names. I love what you do. Just amazing, amazing. So as we come to a close, what words of encouragement or of empowerment would you give to our listeners today to just push them to just keep going and to really just be authentic and live in their purpose?
Yeah, I would say have the courage to be you because that's, I mean, who else can you be?
Right.
You can like when your best version is you, and that's very purposeful. So don't get discouraged about trying to figure out what to do, how I'm going to do it. Your gift has been given to you. If you be you, you're going to discover. So have the courage to be you, non-egotistic. It's a love thing. Like just be you. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be all right.
I love that. So be you. Don't allow fear to take over. And if you operate from a place of love, you can't go wrong with that.
You will not lose.
Yes. All right. So if everyone wants to follow you on your social media, is it the same, Mr. Love No Ego, or how do they find you on social media?
Very up. It's the same at Mr. Love No Ego. That's me, the founder, the speaker, the mentor, the corporate world, and also the Love No Ego Foundation. That's at the Love No Ego Foundation.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to having you on future episodes as well. We're just so grateful to have you on our episode today. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.